Hello and welcome to my first ever go at one of these top 20 videos. I was initially going to do a top 10 RLCS goals of the week video, but while I was trying to pick 10 goals, I realized there was just far too many, so I've decided to go for 20 instead, and also something about 10-minute YouTube videos. Anyway, honorable mention number 1 goes to Markydooda for this doink. Can never have a doink without including it in any top 10 or top 20 goals of the week replays. Good acceleration on the ball, and of course, more credit for the pink cone. A great inclusion in my opinion. And of course, second and only other honorable mention for the week does go to Fairy Peak here. Gets a little bit of help from a former teammate on the way to this goal in a very, very tightly fought matchup against Gale Force. But look at that touch. It would have been a great goal if he had just put it a little bit more to the left. It didn't matter on this occasion because Kaydop decided to help him on the way in anyway. But Kaydop completely fooled here. Did not expect Fairy to be able to shoot from this angle. And bonus points for party time, goal celebration. Something I'm, of course, a big fan of. But into the number 20 we go, and number 20 does go to Sizz in my list. And he gets full credit for a ridiculous read. Look how far away he is from the challenge when he makes that double jump. But he gets rewarded with a pretty fortunate goal, as it does rebound straight in off the ceiling. Credit where credit is due though, that's a great time to go for a double jump challenge. Furthest up on the field, hardly any risk. And first appearance for Cuxer97 is at number 19, with a goal which was not given its full credit by the director camera. Of course, all of you know Cuxer at this moment did not have ball cam on. He was just using the fixed camera, gunning straight for Violent Panda, and he did land on him, successfully Goomba stomping him out of the way. Says sit down, be humble. 2-0 for Flipside in game 4. Lethamyr does get credit for the 18th spot as he denies Renegades a clear on the left side of the field. Moves over, says, yeah, sorry Renegades, you can't clear the ball here either. And actually, while I'm at it, I'm just going to score to put my team in the lead. It's a great rebound by Lethamyr. Bit fortuitous, of course, as he came out of that 50-50 pretty much perfectly, but still well recovered. Good rebound for number 18. And number 17, notice this is overtime in a series which is currently tied, so pressure is on. JNaps with a great center ball with the air dribble. And Rogue completely vacating defense for long enough for Rizzo to just guide the ball into the back of the net with a self-set double touch. Very stylish. Of course, would have been a bit easier if he just shot it direct and by positioning a little bit further back. But that wouldn't look as cool. Number 16, another appearance by Sizz. This time, something that we're very familiar seeing him do. As Matt wins out the race against Dapper. Look at Sizz coming across the field. Get your binoculars for the first playthrough. You won't need them for the replay. Comes in. Reverse angle, upside down redirect. We've seen him do these so consistently, it really is quite impressive, and he's even still in Turbo Pulse's celebration as well. Another appearance by Cuxer, this time getting some help from his team. Flipside pile of pressure onto XL in game 4. Not the best landing by Cuxer, but it doesn't matter, he's right back into the air, beats out Zensuz and Pondix, and he doesn't need any help from Marky in the center either. He's just going to score from an incredibly tight angle. Great speed as he gets up into the air there. Number 14, take a look at the clock. PSG looking set to go up by 2 in their matchup against Excel. Zensuz has got other ideas. Does fail his flick, but he doesn't let that dampen his spirits. He makes a run for Bluey and then decides on the way, hey, I can actually beat Bluey to this ball. Goal line redirect. I'm sure his initial plan was to go for a demo here, but look at that for improvisation. Bluey gets taken out of the game. 4 seconds remain when XL tie it. And number 13 is going to be a solo effort this time. Fairy Peak was in the honorable mention earlier, teaming up with his former teammate Kaydop. But look at this for reaction time. Fairy puts it into the ceiling and then gets another touch after air rolling to turn. Completely surprising Metsenoris and Method, giving Mockit a glimmer of hope in the final 20 seconds of Game 3, which was, of course, a must-win at that time. Number 12, we have Sizz again. This time, of course, he is helped out by both of his teammates. So massive credit to Matt and Incel for both working this ball downfield. And not only that, but also, look at that for teamwork. Setting up Sizz with a full team passing play. And Sizz does come in for the finish. Great pass though by Matt, and another to match it by Incel. Rogue have looked very impressive in the teamwork department, but another team who've been looking pretty good in passing play is Galeforce, not phased by the double demo from Mockit. They continue onwards. Look at Kaydop off the back wall. Talk about service. Turbopulsa with the easiest goal of his career after Kaydop completely bamboozles Fairy Peak on the back wall. Just dumps it straight down. Alley-oop for the finish. What a one-sided game one it was. But into top 10 now, Jacob makes his first appearance. It was a battle this week between Jacob and Miztik for Highlight Reel Player of the Week. Doubling the lead in game one against G2 with a great half-flip challenge. Notice how he kept his nose of his car as high as possible there by air rolling backwards and boosting. Completely catching Rizzo off guard, who did not think that Jacob was going to come barreling in that quickly. Fireburner with the credit, of course, for the goal. But all the hard work was done by Jacob. And Renegades, they seem to always be on the receiving end of good goals at the hands of Rogue. This one, Matt deciding to get on the score sheet, reminiscent of Season 2 Devo, as he backboards it to himself. Bonus points for the bar down and in, of course. What an emphatic game this was, as that was to go up by 4 goals, still 37 seconds left on the clock. That is worth number 8. Or number 9, sorry. Number 8 does go to Markydooda. It's just classic flip side, peppering the backboard. But do pay attention to this incoming pass from Miztik. Plenty of shots, and then he decides to fake one, just booms it center. I still don't know how Miztik managed to get so much power on this ball from an almost standstill situation. Just look at that, and Marky, great reaction time to redirect it into the net. But most of the credit, of course, does have to go to Miztik there. Kaydop making another appearance, this time with a goal. We saw his assist for Turbo earlier. But in a game 5 against Mockit, he decides to pull out the good old double fake, and he just goes right underneath Fairy and Pashy. 2 excellent solo duelists in their own right. But Kaydop just takes them both on. Great presence of mind by the Frenchman, putting his team in a comfortable lead. But Miztik is back again at number 6 this time. Dire straits for Flipside. They need a goal and another to just hit overtime, but they managed to find one courtesy of this great piece of keep away, followed by another Miztik double touch. He's becoming quite famous for these, just stretching out far enough to find the open net. 7 seconds remain for that game 5 comeback. But number 5, we're into the top 5 now. It's going to be Jacob again. This time I do have to give credit to Fireburner though. Resists the urge to boom the clear, instead just services Jacob with a great pass, and Jacob decides to show us what an end-to-end double touch aerial looks like. Great speed into the air by Jacob. Great finish as well, finding the top shelf from distance. Again, I do want to credit Fireburner there. That was a great pass in defense. And speaking of defensive passes, Method showing us why they think they're the fastest team in the world, as a lot Metza and Mognus all get in the end of what was a 3-second transition from back corner to top corner. Look at that finish as well by the Finn. 125 kilometers an hour. Just turns the goal into a letter and the ball into a postage stamp. But we are going to move into the top 3, and Miztik is at it again with an even more ridiculous double touch than the last. This, of course, is going to get some bonus points for the pass out of defense, but most of the work still had to be done by the young Scotsman. What a ridiculous finish this was. looking like he's playing in fast forward as he booms it top left, in off the post. Great finish there by Miztik, and Jacob has beaten him in my opinion though with this solo effort. Second best goal of the week. I think a lot of you are going to know what goal is coming in at number 1, but before then, look at this from Jacob. End to end 1v3, beats Sad Jr. to the ball, fakes out Corrupted, dribbles Chrome, all in one smooth motion. Who said you can't dribble with flat cars? Phenomenal stuff by the NRG player once again. But there it is. A lot takes the top spot. This is going to come to the surprise of absolutely none of you, I'm sure, who have already seen this goal. You've always got to keep an eye out for a lot if he's snuck his way upfield, because he can do stuff like this. Can you believe it? Hits the ball just about the same time as his wheels touch the ceiling, but it still doesn't matter. He can still find the angle. And that's going to be number 1 for me for this week. Thanks for watching.